Bordeaux classifications. The classification and labelling of Bordeaux wine is unavoidably intricate because a number of different systems operate within the region. Like many other winemaking regions, Bordeaux has an appellation system that begins with a large generic appellation and works its way up into smaller appellations. Reds, whites and rosés that are simply labelled Bordeaux or Bordeaux Supérieur can come from anywhere in the region and are typically inexpensive, easy-drinking wines. Above this level, there are numerous smaller appellations, some of which have their own individual classification systems. In this video, we will focus on 4 key areas: Médoc, Sauternes, Graves, and finally Saint-Emilion. The Médoc is the area to the north of the city of Bordeaux, on the left bank of the Gironde. There are 2 large appellations, Haut-Médoc and Médoc, as well as a number of smaller appellations that are sometimes referred to as communes. These are Saint-Estèphe, Pauillac, Saint-Julien and Margaux. All of these appellations are for red wines only. There are no smaller appellations used to distinguish the quality levels of these red wines, and so, within the Médoc, 2 classification systems have evolved, both of which are independent of the appellation system. The first of these is the 1855 classification. In that year, merchants rated the best chateaux of the time into 5 quality levels. This system remains virtually intact, and the chateaux that occupy the top tier are still amongst the best and most expensive wines in the world. Chateaux that are listed within this classification are referred to as cru classés. Because this system is outside of the appellation laws, there is no requirement for chateaux to state on their labels what level they hold in the system. Let's take the example of Chateau Ferrier. The vineyards for this chateau are in the appellation of Margaux. Therefore, Margaux is written on the label. Chateau Ferrier was classified in the 1855 classification, and therefore can show this status on the label. The chateau would retain its cru classé status even if it bought and sold land within the appellation of Margaux. The appellation applies to the grapes, and the classification applies to the chateau. Wines that were not included in the 1855 classification can apply for the status Cru Bourgeois. This status is awarded to individual wines rather than the chateau. Every year, a producer must submit wines for consideration, and only those that pass can be classified Cru Bourgeois. There are, therefore, wines and chateaux that do not belong to any classification. The appellation of Sauternes lies on the left bank of the river Garonne and is renowned for its sweet white wines. These sweet wines were ranked into 3 different levels by the 1855 classification. As in Médoc, the words cru classé typically appear on the labels of these wines. The appellation of Graves covers the area to the south of Bordeaux on the left bank of the Garonne. There is only one sub-appellation for dry wines, Pessac-Léognan. Within Graves, there is a separate cru classé system. This system does not have quality levels, but there are separate lists for red wines and white wines. For example, a chateau could have cru classé status for its red wines, but not its whites. All of the chateaux with cru classé status are in Pessac-Léognan. Saint-Emilion is to the east of Bordeaux, on the right bank of the river Dordogne. Here, the classification system is incorporated into the appellation system. Above the appellation of Saint-Emilion, there is Saint-Emilion Grand Cru. Within this appellation, the best chateaux are split into 2 ranks. The lower rank is Saint-Emilion Grand Cru Classé, and the top rank is Saint-Emilion Premier Grand Cru Classé. Because these rankings are part of the appellation, they appear on the label in full. In this video, we have covered some of the key appellation and classification systems within Bordeaux. You should now be familiar with the systems used in the Médoc, Sauternes, Grave and Saint-Emilion.